the Hollow Armor set in Hypixel Skyblock, obtainable through any tier of the Kudra boss fight. It just so happens to be considered one of the most useless sets in the game. But are the players right? The mage setup that most people normally use on Hypixel Skyblock. This right here is Aurora Armor. While it gives the most amount of base mana in the entire game, the set bonus is incredibly useless. Now, might I suggest replacing the 3 bottom pieces of Aurora for Hollow Armor. You'll only be losing a total of 303 mana when both sets are at Infernal, but for that small price, you will become God. Okay, so what does this thing actually do? Basically, you gain stacks not only from your own attacks, but from people around you as well. You can then spend these stacks using a Hollow Wand, whether or not you're actually wearing the Hollow Armor anymore. Yep, you keep the stacks and can cast spells even if you swap armor to something else, and the stacks decay normally afterwards. All of Hollow's spells minus the healing one can be used situationally, but this video is going to mainly focus on the Ichor Pool spell, for a few reasons. Number 1, its damage buff is multiplicative. Number 2, its overall stack cost to use isn't that high. And number 3, the small pool radius might seem restrictive, but you actually keep the buff even if you leave the radius of the circle. So you'll be able to just walk into the circle and then be able to still keep that buff for the full 20 seconds. One of the ways you can use this spell is to utilize the damage and ferocity buff to be able to double phase skip tier 4 Void Gloom bosses with right click mage to get sub 20 second bosses. As a level 9 in that Slayer, and I'm also an Iron Man, I don't have any reason to do this, but if you're interested, here's a list of requirements, and I'll also link a YouTube guide where I learned about it. Another way to utilize Ichor Pool is as an Infernal Kudra setup. You basically just use it as you would Aurora, then once you drop down to the final phase of Kudra, pop your Ichor Pool to give your entire team a 1.2x damage multiplier and 40 ferocity. If your party is well geared, you can even one peak sometimes, but yeah, anyways, let's try it out. Okay, so we're here in an Infernal Kudra run. Basically, you're just doing everything normally. And then once you're in build phase, make sure you Fire Veil because that's what's going to be getting most of your stacks up. I've done like over 1,000 runs with Hollow Armor, and I've rarely ever had a problem with not having enough stacks. And also a cool thing to note is Thorns can actually proc stacks for you while being hit by mobs, so I actually run it on my Hollow Armor. And yeah, you could try convincing your party members to put it on, but yeah, good luck with that one. Then once you're about to be sent down, no matter if you're stunning or DPSing, have your Hollow Wand ready, and you're just going to use Ichor instantly. Then Endstone Sword, just like normal. Yeah, I kind of forgot to tell you guys not to use Hollow Buff if there are renders in your party, as Ferocity just makes them completely useless. But yeah, once you start hollowing, just the sound of those Ferocity procs, man. It's just music to my ears. But yeah, that's a little about Hollow Armor. If you're still unsure if you want to make a set like this instead of Aurora, or maybe you already have Aurora and are deciding if you also want one of these, let's go over some pros and cons. Pros? It's useful for carrying and doing double phase skipping tier 4 Void Glooms at a super high investment. It's useful for Infernal full duplex parties. It is much cheaper God roll compared to Aurora. Can be used anywhere that Aurora would be used. And it would also always have the potential to be meta useful in future content, which kind of means it's less likely to be power crept when compared to Aurora. And for cons, you have 303 less total mana than Aurora. It's not super useful until Fiery, which is when you can use Ichor Pool. And you don't have a stack buffer on Ichor Pool until Infernal. Buffs cannot be used in Infernal Kudra run parties. There's a chance they rework Aurora again in the future and make it a better mage set. Some parties might not want to play with you because you are wearing Hollow.